Okay, so the next one that they asked me to look at here was a 96 Ford Econoline, I think it's 250 for 5.8. They said that they feel like they're getting a little bit of a break up there, like a misfire when they're driving down the road, and no check engine light. So I came in here to verify. I click on DTCs, and sure enough, there's no codes. I go into mode 6 like we normally do, and I look and I see a small percentage there on the cylinder 3 misfire, which, as you're going to see, I concur, but this is where things get interesting on these older ones. Here's the power balance. Take note, C cylinder 1 showing that it has no contribution, C cylinder 8 showing that it's the one that's picking up, like as if it's increasing RPM every time it comes around to that cylinder. This right here is bogus. Why it's doing that cylinder 1, I do not know. It's a software thing, but pay attention inside this column here with the cylinder 3. This, although the rest of it here seems to be invalid, when I feel the misfire, you'll actually see, come on now, I know you'll misfire there, it goes right there. Alright, so cylinder 3, when it actually misfires, I'll actually see the cylinder 3 still show down below the line. So it is actually showing the misfire. The cylinder 1, if there was a misfire here, I'd never see it. If there was one over here on cylinder 8, I'd probably never see it. But this right here is my cylinder that is misfiring. When it misfires on this thing, and this is an old one, it's got a few miles on it. Well, let's see if we can see it here. And one of the things that led me off to that, oh, darn it, it shook that time, but I didn't get it on video because I had my hand on it. Is what you'll see is sometimes when it misfires there, if you watch that charging gauge, you'll watch that little thing just drop right down. It'll actually do a little jump to it. Come on. You know you wanna. You can do it. I'm getting baby misfires here. Alright, well, when a misfire gets a little bit larger than that, I'm sorry, I get my foot off the, I have to hold the jar switch here with my foot to try to make it so you guys don't have the other chime. But when it actually does act up, yeah, I'm sorry about that. When it does act up though, and you get a good misfire on there, you'll see that the charging gauge will actually jump around. So just something to keep in the back of your mind there. Don't always go by what you're seeing on the power balance screen. You know, take it with a grain of salt, because it's not always completely valid. All right, I would say on the newer ones, yeah, I really don't see this kind of an issue, but on these older ones, you know, compare that to your mode 6. Clearly, if I really had a dead cylinder like that on cylinder 1, I would expect to see that percentage be much higher. You know, I would sit there and look at something up here, you know, probably going to be like, you know, 1%, 2%, something like that. But that's what you have, and just wanted to bring that to your attention. I mean, I'll figure out the misfire. I don't think you guys really need to see that. This thing is something that, you know, it's got the old cap and wires, hasn't seen a tune-up in forever, but, you know, they felt the miss. They were just trying to identify which cylinder it was. I'll run a quick relative compression test on it. Oh, matter of fact, I think we could actually do that from here. I don't know whether or not it's going to work, but we could give it a try. Throw that key back on. And we're going to clear out some of these. Kind of curious to see what it's going to show. Maybe it'll show something good. Maybe it'll show bogus information like this one did. Look at that. It's staying on the screen there as a histogram. Alright, here we go. Gonna come in here and gonna hit relative compression, hit enter. Apply the parking brake, neutral gear position, fully depress the accelerator pedal all the way down to the floor. That should turn green. Oh, and did I just move the cable? I sure did. Let's retry that again. Yeah, just retry. Let's see here. All right, I see it down there in the corner. So when I let off it, let's see if I rerun this. There we go. So it's back to red. I hold it down to the floor. Yep. So apparently that data link connector is a little weak, and the terminals are probably spread out. That's really tedious. All right, I'm holding it to the floor. There we go. There has been an error in engine synchronization. Verified a cam and crank circuit operation. Yeah, kind of figured that that's what we were going to see here. So the newer software is nice, but the older version of this is, or I should say the newer software doesn't work with the older car. All right, so anyhow, if we were still using the older version of IDS, I'm sure it would probably come up okay. But as it becomes newer and newer, they really don't pay much attention to some of this older software, and it gets a little bit glitchy. But I'll go out there, I'll do a relative compression test on this thing and figure out what the misfire is. I'm pretty sure it's going to be spark related on this one, because at a quick glance there, I looked out under the hood and I saw all the spark plug wires are just kind of flopping in the breeze out there all over wherever they wanted to put them. So, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention though. So software wise, you know, it's great. Factory tool, everybody says, you know, nothing beats it. Well, there are always glitches. You know, you always got to use your brain. I mean, I listened to the cadence of that relative compression. I think I'm going to find nothing at all wrong with relative. So that's all. Quick video.